even that to make him give up. He called the university countless times and fought tooth and nail for a course placement for 2 long years. Eventually, the university caved and he was accepted to study economics and finance. After overcoming that hurdle, he began to dream bigger and successfully transferred over to the University of Texas. At his old college, Paul had been living at home, but to the horror of his parents, he was now moving out to live on the campus full-time. It can't have been easy getting the massive 660-pound iron lung into his new dorm room, but not even that challenge could stop Paul. Okay, so he probably didn't help with transporting it, but give the guy a break. After 7 long years, Paul graduated from the University of Texas in 1978, but even that wasn't enough for him. As soon as he finished one degree, he decided to dive right into another. And not just any other, but one of the toughest degrees available at the time: law. Despite his professors telling him he would never pass, in 1984, a full 17 years after he graduated high school, Paul got his law degree. 2 years later, against all odds, he kickstarted a successful career as a lawyer, smashing through every obstacle in his way. Now, that's what you call a success story, and it doesn't stop there. In July 2022, Paul Richard Alexander will have been reliant on his iron lung for an astonishing 70 years. At the grand old age of 76, he's once again confined to the machine full-time. From here, he eats, drinks, sleeps, and even works. But he refuses to let the situation get him down, to the point where he's become a global inspiration. In 2014, he was honored to be accepted into the Rotary Club, a global service organization who are working on projects to help end polio once and for all.
And congratulate you on choosing to serve alongside us. And by applause, all right.
As happy as he looks, his life does come with its fair share of challenges. The machine Paul now resides in is actually refurbished because his original machine began to fail back in 2015. Spare parts have been out of production for decades because no one expected that someone who needed an iron lung would ever live as long as Paul has. But fortunately, Paul has an amazing friend who helped him post this video on YouTube asking for help. Luckily, one heroic engineer came to the rescue and supplied Paul with everything he needed to keep on living his best life. Since then, Paul has amazingly gone on to achieve even more. While working as a lawyer, he recently finished an 8-year-long venture to write his memoir called 3 Minutes for a Dog, which was released in 2020. But what's even more amazing is that he typed out the whole thing by using a rod in his mouth to tap away at his keyboard. How incredible is that? Although Paul isn't the only person to kick polio's butt and live to tell the tale. Famously, America's 32nd president, Franklin D. Roosevelt, was diagnosed with polio in 1921 when he was 39 years old. He was unable to walk without the use of braces or crutches, sometimes used a wheelchair to get around. Much like Paul Alexander, though, he let his disability stop him. He was